Well, hey there, my friend Jonathan Doyle with you once again. I'm pleased you're here. Welcome to the Daily Podcast. I'm just stoked to be with you. I never quite know exactly how I can help. I just want to keep bringing daily content that is a blessing to every person that is listening. It's a challenging time in human history. There is so much complexity, right? There's just so much complexity and challenge every single day. At least there is in my life. You might be sitting on the beach drinking daiquiris every day. I don't know, but what did I miss? Maybe I've somehow got to come and join you. But for the rest of us listening, there are so many challenges. We've got relationship challenges, parenting, business, study, career. As I said yesterday, people who are in relationships, they can find relationships difficult. People who are lonely and single are desperate for relationships and want to change that. So no matter where you are in life, the thing that's going to keep showing up is challenges and problems. Tony Robbins used to say that the price of success, or the reward for success, is you just get a better quality of problem. You just get bigger and bigger problems to deal with. So friends, today I just want to really send you a word of encouragement. If you're listening to this podcast, you're the kind of person that at the very, very least has prioritized growth and direction in your own life. You're not sitting on the metaphorical couch of life. You're here, you're listening, you're open, you're trying to move things forward. So today's message is simply designed to give you some encouragement in whatever you're facing, whatever challenges you're dealing with right now. You do have the tools. The capacity to address whatever you're facing is there. It is within you. You're going to get support. You're going to get help. You're going to read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts. You're going to think. You're going to journal. You're going to do all that sort of stuff. But you must understand that you do have the resources. Today, we want to start from that base. We want to start from the base that no matter what it is that you are facing, the resources are there. They are present. God didn't create you for mediocrity. When God was creating you, the thought of mediocrity, the thought of average was not in God's mind. His creative action is really about this phenomenal, unrepeatable magnificence of the individual human person. Do you understand that you were actually created and made to do something significant, to reflect something of the incredible magnificence that exists throughout the entire cosmos? We can look up at the stars at night, and sometimes we see the galaxies, and we're like, my gosh, this is incredible. This is the most beautiful, spectacular thing. Do you understand that you are a more significant creation than any of that? That you were created for this unique destiny and purpose, and so much of the journey of life is overcoming and undoing the wounds and problems that we faced so that we can press on in this business of becoming who we were really created to become. I want to offer you something else that I did earlier this week that I found really helpful. Is just bringing us all back to the centrality of goals. Goals is one of those things that we've heard about since we were very, very young. Often in the school setting, they try and teach it to us in school. We read about it, we think about it. Some of you listening to me today, no doubt, do have goals. You do have developed, concrete, organized, written down goals. Most people don't, but it's a remarkable power. There seems to be this real inherent intrinsic power of writing down our goals every single day. So I've been listening to tons of good stuff as I do, and I was reminded about just finishing our days by writing down our key learnings from that day and then writing down some goals for the day to follow. So this actually sort of mirrors something that has been part of, spiritual tradition for hundreds and hundreds of years. I know that the Jesuits, the religious order founded by St. Ignatius of Loyola, developed this concept of examination of conscience, where they would finish every day with a structured, deliberate focus upon their thoughts and actions throughout the day. And so I was doing this process the other night, and it reminded me how similar it was to this examination of conscience. And look, I want you to take some confidence from that, because these processes are not new. It's not as if we have to constantly reinvent the wheel. These processes of examination of conscience, or just documenting our day, have been working for people for a very long time. So what I did was I sort of just journaled key learnings from the day. And as you take that 5 minutes before you go to bed and you just start to write this stuff down, what did I learn today? Where did I get things wrong? What would I change? What do I need to do differently the next day? So I started doing this in my diary. I still love writing things down, and I found it really, really helpful. I identified 3 or 4 key behaviors that needed to change, that I knew had to change. So I want to encourage you to start that process, right? Just get a diary, get a journal. Just before you go to bed, write these things down. What have you learned? What would you change? And then for the next day, so on my large diary, the next day I'm just writing down a couple of key things. So for me this week, it was trying to get through 400 kilometers of cycling. And then I've got 5 days in the gym. And then a few other bits and pieces. Like I set myself some tasks of finishing one book that I'm reading for a major presentation, and then 100 pages of a second book that I need to get through. So, when I write these things down, I don't nail it every single time. I try to make sure I execute most of the time. I definitely try to execute, but I don't always exactly. So yesterday, I simply did not get through that second 100 pages. I didn't. There was no way it was going to happen. I worked flat out the whole time I was working all day. I was switched on and focused and directed, but I didn't get through. But I want you to understand that the process of writing it down, it keeps it front and center. It keeps the momentum. It keeps you moving forward. It keeps you directed. So there's just this power. I used to say in seminars that Thomas Aquinas, the scholastic philosopher of the 13th century, referred to this. He said that the hand is the conjoined instrument of the mind. The hand is the conjoined instrument of the mind, which means that there's just this power in writing things down, that there is this connection between our mind, our central nervous system, and our hand as we write. There's this deeper ingrained power that's present as we do that. So it's not just enough to think, my friend, and it's not particularly helpful just to, put a couple of notes on a smartphone or something. I really do encourage you to do that. So, summary of today's message is just to bring you back to the truth that you're not done yet, that you're created for a purpose, you're created to impact, you're created to make a difference in the lives of other people. The clock is ticking. I don't believe in reincarnation. I fundamentally don't. I don't think we get another, we don't get to redo this life. We get one shot, and we've not been created by accident. We've been created for purpose. Now, that purpose is different for every single one of us. For many years, I've said, people see me on stage and putting content out, and it's like, well, you're impacting people, you're doing this. It's just totally irrelevant. This is what I have been asked to do. This is part of why God's put me on the earth. But what I don't get to do is impact the people in your world necessarily. I'm not going to have the conversations today that you are going to have. I'm not going to work where you work. I'm not going to serve where you serve. That's where you're going to be. So you're placed in that place today to do something to make the world fractionally better. This is for me, the concept of the kingdom of God, right? Advancing what is good, what is noble, what is true, bringing more light into the world. There is a plethora of darkness. There are plenty of bad actors deliberately trying to wreck the joint. But there's people like you and me who are trying to make some kind of significant difference. And by significant, I don't necessarily mean massive. I just mean committed, just means small. You can do so much through a conversation. You can do so much through small actions. I'll give you an example. I was in the gym the other day, and I've got these particular water bottles that I use. I get them from Vital Greens, and they're just particular. They're just kind of, I like them and I'm used to them. And I was pretty sure I left one in the gym, and I said to the guy on the way out, I said, hey man, can you just check lost property for me? Because, I lost this bottle, and he went through and he was searching for a while. It was pretty obvious it wasn't there. And I said, hey, it's all good, man. No stress. Like, thanks for checking. And he said, oh, no, he goes, hey, come here. He goes, I'll give you one. And he just goes into the back room and brings me a brand new, trademarked or branded bottle from the gym where I train. It's just the smallest thing. And it cost him nothing. I'm sure they've got a whole big box full of them, but, whether they've been told to hand them out or not, I don't know. But it was just this cool little thing. And I noticed, I walked out of there feeling better. I walked out there going, oh yeah, how cool is that? I just got something, small, just this little gift. It was just a little sense of blessing. Why I'm telling you that story is because I don't think he necessarily got up and said, I'm going to make a difference in the world today. I'm going to change things. Maybe he did. But what he did do was he just executed where he was. He just made a small gesture of blessing, of generosity in his particular role, in his particular place, had a positive impact on me. I probably got back to the house, fractionally more positive and happier and nicer to my own family. Who knows? So I'm trying to impress upon you, my friend, that these small actions that you take, the small ways that you interact with the world are significant. So let's be people of light. Let's be people of blessing, generosity, positivity. I'm not saying fake it. Some of us, I'm actually a pretty introverted guy. Like if you meet me, I'm pretty quiet. Unless I'm on a stage, I just wreck the place. But, in general, I'm a pretty reserved kind of guy. So it doesn't mean that you have to be yay positive, all pumped up all the time. It just means you got to be you and be authentic and keep focused relentlessly on others. This is the trap of depression. It's the trap of anxiety. It's the trap of, I'm not putting this in the same, not grouping these together, but the sort of narcissism that's inherent in our society at the moment closes us off from each other, closes us off from the world. We want to get out of that and get back into the world and be a blessing to people. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go preaching on y'all now. But I mean this. I want you to live. I want you to be a blessing. I want you to grow. I want you to serve people. So let's move on today, all right? Summary, you're made for a purpose. Goals matter. Writing stuff down is useful and helpful, so just start to build that discipline. Listen, if you are hearing this, come across to Instagram. You can find me at J Doyle Speaks. J Doyle Speaks, one word. Come and check out Instagram. I'm back posting there every day, and I'm just trying to put really good content on there that's encouraging, and you can see how I do my days, my crazy days. You can see yesterday I started posting at 3:27 a.m. I'm not encouraging you to do that. It's a long story. So come and check out Instagram, J Doyle Speaks. If you'd like to book me to speak, if you've got a conference, event, you want me to come and work with your team, consultancy in education, business, any of those areas, reach out to me. You can email me direct, jonathan@jonathandoyle.co.co, or just go to the website. I've got this awesome new website, jonathandoyle.co, JONATHAN, Doyle, DOYLE.co.co. So check out jonathandoyle.co. That would be awesome. God bless you, my friend. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast. And if you love someone in your life and you want them to grow, send them this today. Grab the link and send them this podcast. Help them to grow too. God bless you, everybody. This has been Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Podcast, and you and I are going to talk again tomorrow.